Hello, and welcome back to Dreamy Minds. You have reached the quiet part of the day, where the world grows hushed, where clocks soften, where thoughts loosen like sails released from a windy shore. As you arrive here, notice the space between each sound in your room, the faint hum of the night, the soft rhythm of your own heartbeat. Imagine that every breath you take sends a ripple through the stillness, as if the air itself listens and responds. Feel the gentle weight of calm settling over you, wrapping around your shoulders like a blanket of twilight, reminding you that this is your moment to simply be. Take a slow breath in and let it float out. Again, in and out. Feel your body here present, held by gravity and comfort. Let your shoulders fall like leaves at dusk. Let the muscles along your jaw unlock, effortless. Let the space behind your eyes turn calm and wide. There's nowhere to go and nothing to fix. Just this gentle slide into rest. As you breathe, imagine the ceiling above you dissolving, becoming sky, becoming night, becoming a field of stars quiet as snow. With each exhale, the world grows softer. With each inhale, the night draws nearer, friendly, familiar. Tonight's story is the longest lullaby you've ever known. It began more than 13 billion years ago, with a faint ripple in a newborn universe, a ripple that would become our home in the stars, our Milky Way. Breathe in, breathe out. Your bed is a small, safe boat. Above you, a river of light, and we will drift its length together. Long before the first stars appeared, space itself was young. The universe had just cooled from its bright, hot first breath. Matter, mostly hydrogen and helium, spread like mist through vastness. Dark matter, unseen but abundant, threaded the cosmos with invisible filaments like a quiet scaffolding where galaxies would one day gather. Pause. Let your inhale be steady. Let your exhale be longer. In those early ages, tiny differences in density, soft little hills and hollows in the fog of matter, began to grow under the pull of gravity. Where there was a little more gathered. Where there was a touch less, the space thinned further. In one such place, not marked, not named, a cloud began to thicken. Not quickly, not loudly, just patiently. If you could float there, you would hear no sound. You would only feel the slow encouragement of gravity, that tender invitation to come close. Hydrogen met hydrogen. Helium drifted along, and everything turned slightly toward the center. This was the cradle of our future galaxy, a gathering with a destiny written in mass and motion. Another breath in, another breath out. As the cloud deepened, its densest knots warmed, pressure rose, and in those secret hearts, fusion began, hydrogen alighting into helium, releasing light, heat, and the first starlight of that region. These earliest stars were bright and brief. Born big, they burned quickly. They were the universe's first artisans, fusing the simplest elements into heavier ones. Carbon for a future breath, oxygen for future oceans, iron for future worlds. They lived fast, then ended in grand, generous endings. Supernovae that scattered the new elements back into the cloud. The dust they made was both ash and seed, materials for later stars, later planets, later stories. Let your breath be like that expanding starlight, soft, outward, widening. Let your chest fall gently, like cooling embers in the long afterglow. The cloud did not stop gathering, drawn by gravity. It called to more matter along the cosmic filaments. The dark matter halo, largely invisible but massively present, wrapped the region in an enormous steadying embrace. Within that halo, gas swirled and pooled, falling inward, then circling, then settling into a spin. The shape to come was already whispered. A rotating disk, a bright center, spiral arms that would one day braid starlight like silk. Imagine a wide lake with a slow whirl. Leaves on the surface don't plummet straight down. They slide into circles, gentle and wide. So too with our forming galaxy. The gas didn't fall all the way in. Angular momentum, the preference for spinning things to keep spinning, spread the cloud into a broad, flaring disk. At first it was thick and turbulent, like a stormy sea of gas, rich with eddies and collisions. Stars were born by the thousands. Clusters lit like lanterns hung in fog. Some of these star clusters would age into globular clusters, ancient rounded swarms of stars that still orbit our galaxy today. Others would disperse over time, their members drifting apart, keeping only a faint memory of their kinship. Breathe in, hold gently, breathe out. At the center, mass continued to collect. Where orbits crossed and gas thickened, a compact core grew heavy. There, through processes still studied, merging star clusters, collapsing clouds, perhaps the remains of the most massive early stars. A black hole emerged, small at first compared to what it would become. It was not a mouth to fear. It was a hearthstone, an anchor point around which the inner galaxy arranged itself. In time, over billions of years, that black hole would grow into the object astronomers now call Sagittarius, a star. It rests not far from the true center of our galaxy, quiet most nights, a sleeping giant whose presence shapes the dances of stars nearby. If your thoughts drift to it, let them pass like birds across a lake. You are safe and very far. This is a story told from a cradle of calm. Galaxies do not form alone. They meet, they mingle, they merge. Over time, our proto-galaxy welcomed smaller companions, little galaxies that wandered near along those cosmic filaments and were gathered by gravity. Each meeting was a conversation in motion, streams of stars drawn out like ribbons, arches of gas stretched and folded, halos blending core to core, halo to halo. These were not quick encounters. They were the slow choreography of hundreds of millions of years. A waltz so unhurried you could fall asleep to every step. With each merger, new waves of star formation ignited, compressed gas finding itself ready to light. And with each, the growing Milky Way learned more of its balance, its central bulge becoming rounder and brighter, its disk settling flatter and broader, its halo enriched with streams and shells, faint signatures of those who came to stay. Pause now. Let your breath become a tide, in and out. You may picture these mergers like islands joining, coastlines meeting, harbors blending, new inlets forming where water becomes very calm. Just as your breath finds inlets of calm between thoughts, our galaxy found its wide water, a stable, turning disk that would cradle future suns. As turbulence eased, the galaxy's disk became thinner and more ordered. Stars orbited in cleaner lanes, a city of light learning its streets. Patterns formed, spiral arms, not fixed objects, but waves of density, like traffic patterns in which the cars change, but the pattern remains. In these arms, gas compressed slightly, and there the next generations of stars found it easier to be born. Giant molecular clouds, sprawling nurseries of hydrogen and dust, cooled and collapsed where the arms passed by. Within them, new suns sparked, some lit as large blue-white beacons, brief and brilliant. Some arrived, small and steady, long-lived, warm, golden. Pace your breath with these truths. Some moments in life arrive like bright, brief comets. Some arrive like steady stars. Both belong to the same sky. The inner region of the galaxy gathered into a bar, a graceful, elongated arrangement of stars at the center, shuttling gas inward along its lanes, like a gentle conveyor that feeds the heart. Around this inner bar, the spiral arms flowed, 4 grand structures in some maps, too large with feathery spurs in others, more like a song than a drawing, changing with time, but always returning to the theme of a spiraled river of light. The Milky Way's arms are threaded with dust, fine grains of carbon, silicates, and ices born in the deaths of earlier stars. That dust dims and reddens the distant glow, painting the galaxy's band with swirls and lanes, like brushstrokes across the night. Dust is the hushed alphabet of creation. In its shadows, gas can cool. In its coolness, gravity can gather. And in those gatherings, new stars and planets are written. Elements forged across ages found one another. Carbon from ancient furnaces, oxygen released in stellar storms, iron blown out in supernova winds. Inside the same kind of clouds where stars awaken, planets begin as little specks that stick, becoming pebbles, then stones, then worlds. Remember this as you rest. What seems small and quiet can grow into entire futures. Breathe. Breathe. Far along the story, about 9 billion years into the galaxy's life, the cloud in a calm corner of a spiral arm collapsed. A new star ignited. Modest, friendly, long-lived. We call it the sun. Around it, a disk of dust and gas circled, shimmering with millions of small beginnings. Within that disk, tiny grains met and held, thickening into worlds. Some formed as rocky spheres close to the heat. Some formed as gas giants further out, ringed and banded, cold and majestic. On one of the rocky worlds, blue with oceans, white with clouds, life stirred and took its time. You, breathing now, are one of its patient songs. Our sun does not dwell at the edge nor the center. It lives between, in a small spur near a spiral arm, a quiet neighborhood where stars respectfully keep their distance. Every 200 million years or so, our sun and its planets orbit once around the galaxy's heart. We are travelers on a great slow road, so slow that all of human history is a fingertip on the wheel. Let this scale lighten your day. What weighs on you can be set down. There is space for rest. Our Milky Way is one among many in the local group, a small family of galaxies bound together by gravity. Our largest neighbor is Andromeda, spiraled like us, shining with its own long memory. Between us and Andromeda, faint dwarf galaxies drift, some companions, some passers-by, all part of a larger home. In a future so distant it feels like a myth, Andromeda and the Milky Way will meet. A slow, intricate blending that will take billions of years, remaking both into a new shared form. But that is a far-off chapter. Tonight's chapter is only this. You in a quiet room, your breath in easy rhythm, your mind walking softly among the stars. What does a galaxy sound like? It does not hum in the air. There is almost none between stars. Yet, if we could translate motion into tone, we might hear the drift of arms like a low, patient chord. and the birth of stars like tiny bells in distant rooms. We might hear the soft percussion of dust clouds colliding, the faint rattle of starlight on cosmic grains, the subtlest whisper of magnetic fields threading the interstellar medium. We might hear, too, the lullaby of cycles, clouds collapsing, stars shining, stars returning their riches to space, clouds gathering again. Everything gives and returns. Everything rests and renews. Let your breath join that cycle, in and out. Galaxies form under gravity's patience. Light travels for ages to reach us, so when you look at the Milky Way, you see many times at once. Stars, young and old, sharing a single band. The patterns you see are both present and remembered. Arms that are waves, clusters that are families, dust that both hides and helps. At the center, a massive black hole rests. It is quiet now compared to what it could be. Its appetite small, its influence steady. Around the disk, a halo of dark matter extends far beyond what the eye can catch. We do not see it directly, but its pull is written in the way stars circle. These are true things, shared in softness. Hold them lightly, the way you hold a warm cup close to your chest. The Milky Way has its own weather, winds of charged particles, waves of energy from supernovae flowing through the thin interstellar medium, clouds of hydrogen lit by newborn stars, tunnels carved by past explosions where gas is thin and warm. In some regions, stars form quickly. In others, they rest. The balance shifts over time like seasons in a country too wide for maps. Our sun orbits through this weather, passing through gentle variations in density and magnetic fields, its planets sheltered by a cocoon of solar wind, a bubble carved into the galactic medium, a protective heliosphere. Here in this bubble you sleep. Here in this bubble, the night is kind. High above the disk, in the halo, ancient globular clusters circle. They are the elders of our galaxy, compact spheres of hundreds of thousands of stars, old enough to remember its youth. Their light is steady, their motion slow, majestic. If you imagine them tonight, see them as lanterns hung far above the road of the disk. They are not in a hurry. They shine because shining is what they do. So too your breath. Look again at the river of our galaxy. Its spiral arms like waterways seen from a high hill. The arms are not rails. They are gatherings, places where stars and gas linger a little longer, where the density is slightly higher, where birth is slightly easier. Our sun lives near one of the minor spurs, a quieter side stream off a larger arm. It is a good place for long stories, not too crowded, not too empty. You are on that side stream now, floating. The Milky Way remembers many meetings, the embrace of small galaxies whose stars now arc as faint streams in our halo, the long settling from a rough, thick disk into a calmer, thinner one, the quiet growth at the center, the opening and closing of star-forming seasons along its arms. It remembers, too, that everything changes. But not all change is sudden. Much is the work of patience, of gravity doing what gravity does, of time making room for what wishes to be born. Let this remembering be yours. You have time to become. We drift now along the band of the Milky Way. From one side of the sky to the other, we pass star-forming regions, cradles, lit from within, pink in the language of nebulae, where ultraviolet light from young stars glows in clouds of hydrogen. We pass lanes of dark dust that make the river look mottled, where future worlds are quietly assembling grains and dreams. We pass open clusters, young families of stars born together, still traveling in the same part of the disk, like siblings leaving home but sharing the same road for a while. Each scene is a page, turning without sound. The air in your room seems deeper now, somehow cooler. Your breath has its own orbit, in and out, round and round. Never in a hurry, always arriving back at ease. If you could sit for 1 billion years and watch our galaxy, you would see its arms slowly shift shape, its bar lengthen and sometimes shorten, its companions drift and either stay or go. You would see fresh stars in the arms blaze and fade, while the older ones in the disk move like calm citizens in a vast piazza. You would see the halo remain a wide bowl of memory, its streams smoothing into subtlety, its clusters continuing their stately circuits. And you would notice that through all this, the galaxy keeps its gentleness. Let gentleness be the climate inside you now. The Milky Way feels huge, and it is, yet it is one of uncountable galaxies. Even in the small neighborhood of the local group, we are joined by many dwarves, by Andromeda, by the Triangulum Galaxy, by companions visible in telescopes as fuzzy smudges with secrets. While you do not need to hold the whole sky, you only need to feel this moment. A pillow, a blanket, a breath, the great river of the Milky Way above, patient as an old friend. The Milky Way began as a region slightly richer in matter than its surroundings. Dark matter made a vast halo, a supportive stage for the play of gas and stars. The first stars were massive and short-lived, creating heavier elements. Mergers with the smaller galaxies stitched streams of stars into the halo. The disk formed and thinned. Spiral arms emerged as density waves. A central bar helps move gas toward the galaxy's heart. At the center lies a supermassive black hole, usually quiet. Star formation continues in waves. Dust both hides and helps creation. Our sun is a latecomer, orbiting the center with its planets. The galaxy will change again in ages to come. Slowly, gracefully. Let these truths be quiet companions. You do not have to think about them. You can simply rest near them, like sitting by a warm fire, as the story goes on without you. For galaxies never stop becoming. You are invited to stop, to become still. Notice the weight of your body, the outline of your hands, the gentle place where your tongue rests. Notice your breath again, the simple tide of it, in and out. The room is safe, the bed holds you, the night is friendly. Above, a river of starlight turns, within, a river of calm replies. You may imagine yourself on a quiet hill, under a sky so clear the Milky Way is a white path across the dark, a powder of light laid gently from horizon to horizon. It is late. Crickets speak in patient rhythms. A cool wind moves with the grass. The river of the galaxy seems to move, not fast, not far, but with the slow assurance of a clock too grand to hurry. You walk out along the path of light with your eyes. Then, let your eyes close. The path remains. You are part of it, and it is part of you. Not by ownership, not by claim, but by kinship of matter. The atoms in your blood were forged in stars, some long before our sun was born. You carry the memory of those furnaces. Every breath you take holds oxygen made in ancient hearts of light. Every quiet thought is housed in a body arranged from cosmic dust. You are not small in a way that should trouble you. You are small in the way a note is part of a symphony, needed and complete, held and harmonious. Falling asleep if your eyelids feel heavy, let them close. If they are already closed, let the muscles behind them soften further. If a thought arrives, let it pass by like a small galaxy at a great distance. Its light beautiful, its path not yours to follow. Return to breath, in and out. The Milky Way continues its patient turning. Stars being born, stars saying farewell. Clouds gathering, clouds glowing, all at a pace that invites deep rest. You may sleep now. The galaxy will keep watch, faint, constant, like a friend who hums you a song, too soft to wake you, but just enough to remind your dreams that they are loved. Picture the galaxy as a slow spiraling flower, each arm a petal, the center a calm and ancient eye. You are a dewdrop on one quiet leaf, perfect as you are, resting, reflecting a tiny world of light. The stem is time, the soil is gravity, the garden is the universe, patient beyond measure. Let sleep come like nightfall over a meadow, shade by shade, petal by petal, sound by sound, until everything is soft and still. Sleep well, traveler of the Milky Way. Sleep long, sleep easy. The river of stars will be here when you wake, and so will your calm. Good night.